Hi everyone and welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. I thought I would just sit and have a bit of a chatty one with you today. I've recently been going through all of my fabrics, sorting them out, giving them a wash if they haven't been pre-washed, giving them a nice press. And I can't tell you how much more inspired for spring sewing I feel after doing that. I thought it might be fun, and I hope you think so too, to just go through all of my current fabric stash. So these are all what I would say are my spring-worthy fabrics. I've managed to pick up quite a few new fabrics over the last few weeks and months, and I have quite a full stash. So before I go shopping for any more fabrics, I really want to make use of and sew up some of the fabrics that I've already got. And I've actually been shopping with some newer to me fabric shops recently, so I thought I'd just share those with you today as well. So I do have quite the pile to get through, so let's get straight into it, shall we? So I recently discovered on Instagram a lovely fabric shop called The Fabric Seller, and they sell the most beautiful fabrics in the most beautiful neutral shades. It's just like the perfect shop for me, I think. And I kept seeing their photos come up on Instagram and thought I really must just pop over and have a little explore on their website and see what they've got. And it didn't disappoint. So let me show you what I bought from them first of all. It was very difficult actually to rein myself in on there because there was quite a few fabrics that I definitely could have brought, but I decided to go for 3 fabrics initially. So the first fabric I bought was this beige and white striped cotton, and when I bought it I initially wasn't sure whether I would want it as clothing or as homeware. So I've now washed this and I would say it is quite a sort of a stiffer cotton than maybe I am used to, but I think what I'd really like to make with this is a pair of trousers. Surprise, surprise, a pair of elasticated waist drawstring trousers for summer. And I think that perhaps they will be a little bit smarter than some of the trousers that I've already got. I've only got 1.5 meters of this, so I can't really do anything too involved or too tailored. I think this fabric would have worked so well as a pair of protea pants similar to the brown ones that I've made recently, but unfortunately I don't actually have enough fabric to be able to make those. But I think I'm going to make the sapphire trousers with these, not the Tyra trousers for once. I'm going to go a little bit more sleek with these and just make a simple pair of sapphire trousers, no pockets or anything. The sapphire trousers, I think the legs are a little bit more narrow than the Tyra trousers. I'm just going to adapt the waistband slightly to make it drawstring rather than fully elasticated. So you can actually add pockets to the sapphire trousers if you want to. There is a pattern piece for a pocket in the Make It Simple book, but I think because this cotton is quite stiff and quite crisp as it is, I don't really want to add any more bulk to those trousers. And I think these will probably serve me quite well through the summertime because, as you know, I do love a good pair of wide leg trousers. So it'll be interesting to sew up a pair that are slightly more heavy than I have made in the past, because I usually use a more floaty fabric like a viscose or a rayon whenever I make sapphire trousers. I've not ever used anything a little bit more stiff. So I'll keep you posted as to how they turn out. This should be quite a quick sew, especially without any pockets or anything like that. Another fabric I bought from the Fabric Seller was this quilted fabric. So this one I just thought was really interesting. It looked as though it was just an interesting fabric really on their website. I'd not seen anything like this before. And to be honest, I was just totally taken by the print and the colours in this. It's on a cream base with brown and blue ditzy floral print all over it, and it's slightly quilted, so there isn't any wadding in between the 2 layers of fabric. So it's really interesting, and as I say, not really something that I've seen before, but to be honest, I really was just taken by the print and the colours in this. I didn't have anything in mind for this when I ordered it. I thought I'd just let it turn up and see what I think of it and see then what I feel like I want to sew with it. And I think what I want to say with this is a very lightweight sort of quilted jacket for springtime. So a couple of years ago now, I hacked the Ilford jacket slightly to remove the collar and just curve the sides a little bit to make a really simple style jacket, and I think I'd really like to try that with this fabric. I think I would make it slightly shorter. I would really like it to be quite cropped so that I can wear it with high-waisted trousers and jeans, and possibly a little less boxy if I can do that easily. I'm going to have a look at the pattern and just see, because the Ilford is quite oversized and you do get quite an oversized boxy shaped jacket with the Ilford, which is perfect for winter time when you're wearing big bulky jumpers and things underneath. But I think more so for summertime, I can imagine wearing this with like a little vest or a cami or something underneath it, and I think it would just be a really good cover up, and I'm really excited to get sewing with this and see how it sews up. Just gone over to my sewing machine and retrieved this. This was another fabric that I brought from the fabric seller, but I've already got it cut out and ready to sew up. So this is a pointelle jersey. Let me not handle it too much. In this lovely chocolate brown colour, and I've not seen this colour anywhere else other than on their website, and this colour is perfect for me. It's definitely one of my colours. So as you'll know if you're a regular here, the Agnes top is one of my tried and tested patterns that I make over and over again. Anyway, I saw this brown colourway on their website and thought it would be so lovely for spring and summertime, and how nicely do all three of these colours go together. So if I make these trousers up, a lovely brown Agnes top is going to go so nicely with those, isn't it? So I've also got that one ready to sew up, and that was a really lovely pointelle jersey. It is quite a thin jersey, I would say, so I'm just hoping it's not going to be too see-through. So continuing with the new to me online fabric shops, I recently was contacted by a company called Yardblocks online, who also have the most beautiful fabrics. They stock lots of natural fibres like cottons, linens, linen blends, viscoses and things like that, and there's such a wide selection of lovely fabrics over on their website. I was spoilt for choice. I really did not know what fabric to choose. In the end I went for this really lovely 100% linen fabric. So this is white with a really pretty blue stripe through it. So the stripe is kind of wavy and it's got flowers running through it as well. And I just thought it was so pretty, and I thought it would be perfect for spring. I haven't washed this yet actually, but it just feels so soft and silky, and I have so much of this. I've got about 3 meters worth. And at the moment I'm torn between two things to make. So number one, I'm thinking that a Marni blouse would look really lovely in this, and I've seen lots of Marni style blouses around on Pinterest that look really sort of boho, and they include lace and ribbons just to give them a little bit more detail. So I'm wondering if I could use this fabric and just combine it with some trimmings and things to make a lovely spring Marni blouse. The other thing I thought I could make was maybe like a cord set, perhaps something with a pair of shorts or 3/4 length trousers maybe, and perhaps a little blouse to go on the top. Or my third option is that I could make a button down shirt dress with this. So please help me out in the comments. Let me know what you would make with this lovely fabric. So excitingly, I've actually partnered with Yardblocks to run a giveaway over on their website. So if you'd like to be in with a chance of winning $50 of credit to spend on the Yardblocks website, I'll pop a link in the video description. You just need to follow that link, pop over, sign up to their mailing list and follow them on Instagram, and you'll be in with a chance of winning $50 to spend on their lovely website. So all of those details will be linked and listed in the video description down below. Thank you so much Yardblocks for sending me this really lovely fabric. I can't wait to sew something up with it this summertime, and of course I'll be sharing whatever I make over on Instagram and on here as well. So let's have a knit fabric then. I don't have many knit fabrics in this stash, I have to say. I probably could do with a few more, but I did recently pick up this French terry fabric from Fabric Godmother. So I may have mentioned to you on here actually, I can't remember if I did or not, but I was really searching for the perfect French terry fabric to recreate a Suzanne style top. So I ordered this French terry fabric and also a white and navy fabric from Self Made, which was also French terry, and I ended up using the Self Made fabric for the Suzanne style top. So I'm kind of left with this French terry now. I think I've got 1.5 meters of this, and it's really quite wide. What would you make? Let me know in the comments. The only thing that's crossed my mind is that perhaps I could sew another test dress by Chalk and Notch. The only thing about the test dress really is that it's quite clingy, and I don't mind that for until sort of autumn, winter time, because then I will layer it and I'll wear something over it. But I think for summertime, I prefer to have something that's not quite as clingy as the test dress is. I think what I could perhaps try and do though is straighten out the sides and just give myself a little bit more room around the waist. I'm not sure, but then again, this French terry might be a little bit heavy for that kind of dress. So again, do let me know in the comments if you have any inspiration for me. Okay, moving on to the most exciting, most exciting and most pretty fabrics, I think. I have shared this quickly with you before, but I'm going to share again because I think I have a plan for this now. It's kind of like a cross between a lawn and a gauze, I would say. But yeah, it's really pretty anyway. It's my kind of cotton, very soft and very drapey. I think what I would like to make with this is the Celine blouse by Silver Saga Patterns, or maybe like a variation of that pattern. But the style that I'm going for is that kind of style, so peasant slash gypsy style. I need to make sure that the neckline is not going to be too low, because I know on the Celine blouse the neckline is quite low, and also the Celine blouse is very, very oversized, and I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that. And also that kind of blouse is not too busy, so you're not going to interfere too much with this lovely embroidered print, because I really want to make the most of these embroidered flowers. I know you can actually hack the Anthea blouse by Anna Allen. She does have a hack on her website that you can just download and use as part of that pattern, so I'm going to have a look at that as well, because if I can avoid buying another pattern, then I definitely will. Okay, another really lovely fabric. This one I picked up recently from John Lewis. This is a Liberty Tarnelorn cotton, and it was reduced from £24.99 I think to £8 something a metre, and I just could not believe that. And I snapped it up as quickly as I could. So this is a print from their 150th anniversary collection, and that was the only reason why I could think that perhaps that was why it was reduced so much, because this is obviously like not one of their classic prints or colourways, I guess, so perhaps that's why they're selling it off. I think what I'm going to make with this, well, I know I'm going to make with this, is the Fabric Godmother Carnation blouse. It just couldn't be, you know when you get an idea in your head and you just know a fabric has to be that thing? I really couldn't get the Fabric Godmother Carnation blouse out of my head. As soon as I saw this fabric, I thought that it's going to suit that pattern so well. So I do have this pattern all ready to go, but I haven't made it yet, and I'm wondering whether or not I need to do a twirl before I cut into this Liberty fabric, or make a different version just to check the sizing before I do sort of cut into this. I think this is the kind of blouse that I don't necessarily want to be too oversized actually. I think it will look better if it's a little bit more fitted than perhaps I normally wear. So yeah, I'm really excited to try out the Carnation blouse. I've seen loads of lovely versions over on Instagram, and I think it will suit this fabric really well. Quite the pile here, haven't I? Another one that I have probably shown you before, I can't remember, is this lovely cotton Dobby. This is like a voile, it's really light. This is so pretty, and it's definitely a me kind of fabric. It's just the kind of fabric that I'm drawn to all the time. I just can't resist a white fabric or an off-white fabric. I got this from McCulloch and Wallace when I went to London with my mum last summer. I thought, I can't leave with nothing. So I headed over to the white fabric section and thought, you can't go too wrong with a white fabric. I'll definitely use that at some point for something. And I just brought 1.5 meters with this, hoping to get a blouse out of it. So I do have a plan for this one. And the pattern for this has just completely slipped my mind. So I will pop in the name of the pattern on the screen and a picture here. I actually found it because I'd put a picture of a ready-to-wear blouse inspiration on my Instagram stories and asked for pattern recommendations, and someone sent me over to the Blackbird Fabrics Instagram because they just posted a very similar pattern. So I saved it on my saved folder in Instagram to come back to whenever I got around to making this blouse. I quite like the idea of sewing the drawstring. I think that would be really pretty for summertime, and again would just go with so many of my other clothing, trousers, jeans and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I really want to get on with that this summer because it was one of those summer plans that I never got around to last year, so I really need to get on with that. And although I am a bit of a serial pattern maker, I tend to make the same patterns that I already own time and again. It's always quite nice to try a new pattern company and a new pattern, isn't it? So I'm quite excited to give that pattern company a go. This is another bargain that I picked up from John Lewis recently. They had a really good sale on in John Lewis and I managed to get quite a few bargains. So I also picked up this linen. So this is in like a peach and white, off-white stripe. And I absolutely love the colour of this. It went so nicely actually with that Liberty fabric, but just on its own, it's just a really lovely colour. I'm normally very much a blue and white striped person, as you probably know, and this colourway was really different for me. So I got 2 meters of this and it was just over £5 a metre, which I could not believe for 100% linen. Again, just a fabric in the sale that I just could not leave really. I didn't have any plans for it at the time, but I thought if nothing else it will make a really lovely summer shirt, summer blouse. So yeah, 2 meters of this. It's quite sheer, is the only thing I would say. You definitely can see through it, so I'm going to have to be quite careful what I do make with this. I think it's most probably going to have to be a top of some kind or a shirt. I've seen a really lovely shirt actually in mint velvet, which I'll pop an image in here if I can find it, but it's pretty much the exact same colourway as this fabric. So I was thinking, or maybe I could sort of create something similar or recreate something similar inspired by that. But I have a lot of shirts in my wardrobe already, a lot of the same kind of style of shirts, and even though I wear them a lot, I just feel like perhaps I'd quite like to try something different with this. So a pattern that's coming to mind, which I think will be a good pairing with this fabric, is the Donny shirt, Friday Pattern Company. This is a pattern that's sort of been on my radar for quite some time, but I've just never ever got around to trying it. So at the moment I'm just thinking, I don't know if it will suit this fabric or not. I don't know, but either way I would really like to try the Donny shirt. Let me know if you think it will suit this. In a way I do just want to make an overshirt or something, or an oversized shirt with this. Do you know, I'm getting loads of ideas now that I'm actually sitting here holding this. Although it's really see-through, I think this colourway would make a really lovely cord set, stripy trousers, and maybe like an Ashton top or something to go with it. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Oh, I don't know now. I'm totally confused. I thought I knew what I wanted to make with this. I thought I was going to make a Donny shirt. But just while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking, actually, I don't know if this will suit the Donny shirt or not. Again, do let me know in the comments what you would make with this. Another fabric that's still in my stash is this lovely stripy fabric. I got this from NH Patterns from the Stitch Show in March. So I'm not really sure what to make with this. The obvious choice would be a blue and white striped shirt, but I can't make another blue and white striped shirt. I've already got about 3 in my wardrobe, so I definitely don't need another one. Would this make a Donny shirt? I don't know, possibly. I think I've got 2 meters of this, or maybe just 1.5. I'll need to measure it again. It would make a really nice shirt dress, wouldn't it? Just an easy button down shirt dress, but I'm not quite sure if I've got enough. I've actually washed this since buying it and it's gone a lot stiffer than it was before it was washed. It felt quite nice and light and smooth before it was washed, and after washing it's kind of crisped up a bit, which is weird. It's normally the other way around, isn't it? But yeah, I thought I would show you this again because I am going through my fabric stash after all. It's a really lovely fabric, just not quite sure what to make with it again. I'm not sure if I've ever shown you this one. This was from Actual Liberties, the shop in London last year when I went with my mum. I didn't really need any fabric at all when I went shopping with my mum, so I didn't want to sort of splash out on anything too expensive, but at the same time when you are in Liberties you feel as though you can't come away with nothing. So as luck would have it, they actually had a bit of a sale on while we were there, and they had this Tana lawn in the sale. I can't remember how much this was, but I'm thinking it was around £15 a metre rather than their usual sort of upwards of £26 a metre, so quite cheap really. Obviously a different kind of print for Liberty, and I was just looking at the selvage of this, and this is from their 150th anniversary collection as well. But I really like the print on this. I love the blue and I love the brown in it, and I also love the fact that it was quite a bigger, sort of more bold print than the usual ditzy florals that you would maybe go for, or I would maybe go for in Liberty. So I've got 1.5 meters of this, and I think what I'm going to make with this is another gathered elasticated waist skirt. So last year I self-drafted a really simple elasticated waist skirt with pockets. There is a YouTube video sharing how I did it, so I'll link that video down below, but it's basically 2 rectangles, some pockets and just a straight waistband, which is half flat and half elasticated. I really loved how that skirt turned out, and I wore it in the summertime last year, and it was just a really lovely skirt to pull on. But because the version that I made was white broderie anglaise, it's not really an everyday kind of skirt for me. So I'm thinking that I want to replicate that skirt or make it again and just sew it from this fabric, and I think that will be really nice. I think again it's going to have to be lined because it is quite see-through, but then again I do wear slips underneath my skirt, so do I need to line it? I don't know. I'm thinking that sometimes the lining just sort of poofs skirts out a little bit, doesn't it? It gives them a bit more weight and a bit more structure. So I think I probably will end up lining this, but that should be quite a nice, quick and easy summer project, and I think it will look really nice in this fabric. Don't worry, I haven't got too many more to go. I've also got this, I'm not sure what this is. I picked it up from Hobbycraft for some reason. I had a reason in mind, but then I didn't end up using this fabric. Linen look, like a slub linen, I would say, similar to what I made my most recent pair of Tyra trousers from. I think I've only got 1 metre of this, so I can't do too much with it, but I would love to make a really nice cropped summer top with this that I can wear with all of my Tyra trousers and skirts. And I could just make the Ashton top, which is one of my favourite cropped boxy summer tops. I absolutely love it. But I've also seen this pattern by True Bias. Quite like the square neckline of this one, and I also like the fact that it buttons up at the back. I thought that was a really nice pretty detail as well, so that one is definitely a contender as well. The only thing about that one is that I don't like the low back on it. I have a bit of a thing about low backs. I'm not really a fan of anything that's too low on the back, but I'm wondering if I could actually raise the back a little bit so that it's not quite so low. I don't know. Again, let me know if you've made this pattern. Let me know how you found it. It's quite a pretty top. It's very cropped. You can make quite a few different versions of it. It obviously comes in dress form as well. One thing I've realised about my wardrobe as I've been going through Me Made May is that I just need a few more sort of easy, basic, neutral tops to wear with the other things I already have. So yeah, that is that one. Another fabric I thought I would share again is this Viscose Dobby fabric. This is by Atelier Brunette, and I've had this for quite some time and not yet made it up. This is one of my absolute favourite fabrics ever, by the way. I love this Dobby fabric. It's such a pretty, drapey, smooth, silky viscose. I'm actually wearing it in this Ogden cami that I've got underneath this cardigan. It adds a bit of luxury, I think, to really basic tops. Like, I have many Ogden camis that I wear under things like this, but the ones that I've made out of this fabric just feel so special. So I've got about 2 meters, I think, of this rust coloured Dobby viscose. And what I'm planning to make from this at some point is another Nepheline blouse by Vivian Xiao Chen. I have one version of that blouse in my wardrobe already from a floral print, and this time I would just like to make the one without the floral neckline, I think, which is a little bit less fussy, isn't it, than the frilly neckline. I love the frill neckline. It works really well with the version that I've got, but I'm thinking for this one I would just like it to be a little bit more subtle. So that's that. And then lastly I have about 2.5 meters of this cream viscose. This is one of Minerva's core range viscoses, which I highly recommend, by the way. It's a really lovely, very reasonably priced viscose, and it comes in so many different colours. So my original plan for this was to sew another grain line Archer button-up shirt, and I may still do that. I'm not sure if I will get around to that this summer, because my original plan for this was that I would make a neutral Archer shirt that I could just wear as layering in the autumn time, so under jumpers and things. And yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should just stick to that, because that would be a good plan, something that I definitely sort of need in the wardrobe. So I might end up keeping this one until autumn time next year, but a really, really lovely fabric, and as I say, really high quality, I think, from Minerva for such a reasonable price. The last thing I just very quickly wanted to share with you is, without disturbing it too much, is that I have cut out a denim shirt. I know, another shirt, but I've wanted to replace my sort of viscose linen-y denim look shirt for ages and ages, and I had this denim again from the Stitch Show, and thought that I would just get on with it. So it's a little bit darker this time, and I'm going to make, instead of a Logan jacket, I'm actually going to make the Grain Line Archer shirt. And hopefully that will be a really nice sort of addition to my spring wardrobe again, because I think shirts are just great for layering, aren't they? I wear them all the time over camis, Agnes's, under things. They just work really well as layering pieces. So I can always do with more shirts, to be honest. And this is a replacement service, I think, because my other one is looking a little bit tired and it's been so washed and so worn. It just kind of needs a bit of an upgrade, really. I'll probably still keep the other one, but I just need one that looks a little bit nicer, I think. So I've got that on the go as well. So quite a few spring and summer sewing plans, all from my current fabric stash, which is always nice, isn't it? So before I allow myself to buy any more fabric, I think, I'm not going to keep it as a hard and fast rule, but I really want to try to get some of that stash sewn up before I buy any more fabric for spring and summertime. And I need to be kept on track. If there's anything of what I've shared in today's video that you'd like to see me sew up as a sew along, please do let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of all these fabrics, and let me know if you have any ideas or even any better ideas than I do for any of those fabrics. I would really love to hear your suggestion. It's always good to get inspiration from other people, isn't it? And to talk about different ideas and things that you perhaps hadn't thought about. So thank you for joining me for today's fabric chat. I feel like I've just sat here and talked to you for hours. Don't forget to pop over and enter the giveaway over on Yardblocks, and I'll link all of those details down below. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll link everywhere else that you can follow me over on social media in the video description down below if you'd like to. Otherwise, take care everyone, happy sewing, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.